And hello everybody. I'm going to make my second video for today, and this is going to be a story time and kind of just while I'm cooking. So you might not see everything I'm doing in the kitchen, but I'm going to be telling a story to you and cooking at the same time. I just posted earlier today, and now this video is going to get posted later today. Okay? And like I said, this is a story time, so let me sit this right here. I'm just going to be talking and cooking. You won't see everything that I'm doing on camera because it is a story time, and I'm not going to be sitting still doing a story time, which most of the time I probably won't be sitting still while I'm talking to y'all. I'll be doing something. I'm washing my hands really quick. And I wanted to tell y'all a story that means a lot to me, and I didn't know what story I wanted to tell, but I'm like, okay, I enjoy talking, and I'm noticing that from my views, the audience that I'm pulling is people that like to hear people talking, which that's me too. I would rather you tell me a story or talk to me about spiritual stuff or, you know, something like that. That's the type of stuff that I'm interested in. And I'm noticing that the audience that I'm pulling is similar to me. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm cooking. I'm making tacos, burritos, queso dip, and taco rice. And everybody's not eating tacos and a burrito and all of that stuff. It's like certain people in the house like certain things. My kids want burritos, so I'm making burritos for them. And then I'm gonna make tacos for him. And queso, I normally do queso and give everybody chips and queso on the side. And my oldest also likes, I didn't ask her what she wants, but she likes both. She likes the hard shell tacos and the burritos or the soft shell. That girl don't really be caring what she eat. As long as she eats, she can eat like two grown men. And she ain't even no huge person. She's so tiny. Okay, so I'm going to be using ground turkey. That's mainly what I cook with. I don't cook with a lot of beef. I'm not even a big beef fan. I don't really like beef like that. And only beef that I really will eat is like ground, like from a hamburger or something like that. But I don't like roast. I cook roast, but I don't like roast. I don't like roast. I don't like anything that's not ground beef. I really don't care for it that much. But I do cook it for my family. Most definitely cooks it for them. And I'll just most of the time make me some chicken or something like that. And then since I'm talking about that, like who likes what, my youngest baby don't like a lot of meat. Alicia don't like a lot of meat. She don't like catfish. And she don't like meat that's big. So if I'm cooking chicken or something like that, she wants the thinnest piece. She doesn't like big meat. And you know, it's funny because one of my subscribers that I love to watch, she's also like that. Every time she's buying meat, she always says she don't like the big meat. And that's how Alicia is. And then it's just certain meat, like I said, like catfish. She's not gonna eat that. She doesn't like it at all. She will eat beef, but not a whole, not if it's like big beef. She'll eat the roast if the roast is pulled, like if it's shredded thin. So she likes it to be shredded thin. Not, you know, some people keep their roast in chunks. She don't like that. So she's not big with that type of stuff. But yeah. But that's it about for me. Everybody else in the house will pretty much eat anything that I when it comes to meat, anything that I cook. Now, it is certain things that people won't eat a lot of, like me. I could literally eat chicken every day with no problems, no complaints, and everybody's not like that in the house. So a lot of times I end up cooking the beef and stuff for them, so they're not eating the same things, and then I'll just make me some chicken. Like I did oxtails on Sunday. Sunday I made oxtails, cooked in the oven, and then I did baked chicken in the oven, and I made greens. Did I do greens? I think I did greens. I can't even remember what I made Sunday. So far away, I made so many other things. But I did greens, rice, cucumber salad, and yeast rolls. That's what I did. And the reason I did the yeast rolls is because people was starting to complain about me making too much corn. Every Sunday I would make cornbread, so I'm like, okay, let me switch it up on them and make something different. And I did beans too. I did beans as well. And I just do a little bit of beans because I'm really the person in the house that likes the beans. So normally I make a big pot and it's not like 8, so I just made a small thing of the beans. And I made, did I make dessert or buy dessert? Oh, I made banana pudding. I made banana pudding, and we had some vanilla cake left over. So today I'm making the taco rice, burritos and tacos, queso chips. I got these chips. These are new. We haven't tried these, but it was another brand that we really liked, their queso chips, so I got that. And then I'm going to make some cinnamon rolls as well. So we got these cinnamon rolls, something that's quick, I can just do. Sometimes I do, most of the time on my weekday meals, is stuff that's easy. I can process food that I can just throw together. But on the Sunday meal, it's mostly stuff that I'm doing from scratch. Like the banana pudding was made from scratch. If I make a cake, cookies, all of that stuff, it'll be made from scratch on Sundays. But when I cook during the week, I shortcut it as much as I possibly can with the stuff I know that they won't be complaining about. But they're kind of picky. Even my 2 youngest is picky. Like I can't buy too much stuff and they gonna eat it. Like we've tried that, like the quick meals and all that, and they don't eat it, and we end up wasting our money pretty much because they're so picky. And that's one of the main reasons that I cook all the time, because everybody in this house is so picky when it comes to frozen foods and processed foods. Like they'll eat it just so they giving me a break, and I don't like that. And then he's a chef, just like I said. So when we first got together, he was cooking most of the meals. Well, I think we were both kind of playing our part, both cooking about the same amount of time. And then I just, when I started working from home, it was just more convenient for me to start cooking, and I enjoy it. I enjoy being here. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy cleaning. I enjoy when Leisha's day is done, I'm here to ask her how did it go. When Elijah walks through the door, I'm able to ask him how was his day, and he should be here in about 30 minutes. So he might come in while I'm cooking, or I might be wrapped up. But like I said, I wanted to do a story time with you guys, and the story time that I wanted to share with you guys is the story time of my best friend that passed away a couple of years ago. I wanted to share that because it falls in with my spiritual growth and where I'm at now, because it was the hardest, when I say the hardest loss that I have ever experienced, no loss that I have ever had can compare to that loss. Like, it was traumatic for me, and it affected me drastically, because this was somebody that I talked to in the morning, in the middle of the day, at night. We shared so much. She passed away with so many of my secrets, and I hold so many of her secrets with me. But her name was Hannah, and we met, and Shakira was born in 2002. We met in 2007 when I started working for Head Start of Greater Dallas by Bachman Lake. If anyone is familiar with the Dallas area, Bachman Lake Head Start is where we met at. I started in, I want to say I started in October and she started in November. So we started the job right around the same time, and we both was on the morning shift, the early shift, because we were new. So how they did it is there was 2 teachers in each classroom. You had a morning shift that would come in early, and I think it was 7 o'clock. And then you had evening shift that would come in at 8:30. And the morning shift would get off at 3:30, and the late shift would get off at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I don't remember the exact time. But we both started early, and I remember when she started, she was in the classroom, like not directly across, but the door next door to the classroom that was directly across from me. And I saw her, she was really quiet, and I just kind of watched her a couple of days, and I was quiet then too. And we both was kind of quiet, and one day I just went over there and I said, I think I was like, hey, good morning, like you don't have to be afraid to come say hi, how are you doing, this, that, and the other. And we just hit it off instantly. Like there was definitely a connection there on so many different levels. We connected. So we built a friendship like quick. Like after that day, we were going to lunch together. We was talking all the time. And a few months after that, her mother passed away, and I was able to support her through that and just show her a lot of things that had to do with life that she didn't know about, that she had to learn, because now she had a son, and she had to learn about life. And then there was things that she also helped me with. I remember, like, to this day, the recipe that I used to make broccoli cheese casserole is her mom's recipe, because I didn't know how to make it, and she told me she was making it one day for Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, how do you make that? That sounds good. And she told me, and I remember me making it, and I still use that same recipe to this day. But we just started talking. We developed a great relationship, and then we ended up being like sisters, where our kids grew up together. Her son and my oldest daughter was right there, close to the same age. He was a couple of years or a year up under her, so they grew up together. And we just helped each other out with so many things, and we grew in life together. We became who we are because of each other, and just that bond that we had. And just that bond that we had. So as the years went by, I think it was probably about 2 years, 3 years, we kind of, hey, how you doing, girl? I'm good, this, that, and the other, just checking in with each other. I'm the godmother to her middle child, a little girl that is 14 now. So I'm her godmother. And then she had another little girl. When she had her other little girl, that's my daughter is, Leisha's 10, so she's 8. And when she had her, we was just kind of like, hey girl, how's things going? Just checking in with you. We wasn't talking every day. But when her little girl turned about, I want to say 2, maybe younger, we ended up just being back close. And I remember how it happened was, my mom worked at a job where they would give you, they would shut down Six Flags Over Texas for Parkland, which was the hospital. And my mama never went, but she would always say, hey, you and Hannah want to go, blah, blah, blah. We went a couple of years. And then this year, we ended up going again together. And that we just, after that, it was like inseparable. And our kids were still young then. They were young, because my baby girl that's 10 now was probably like, she probably was like 4. She probably was 4 when we went to Six Flags, and we was just inseparable, and we did everything together every day. And I remember we both was in relationships at the time. you know what? I was in a relationship, and she was just ending her relationship with her youngest child's father. And I remember just telling her, girl, I wish I was ending my relationship with my youngest child father. And she was like, no, you don't say that, y'all try to work it out. And I'm like, girl, I'm over it, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was just encouraging me to try to stay and this, that, and the other. And she was really hurt, and that's what also helped us get that bond back. Because she was so hurt that she was losing her relationship with her youngest kid father, and then I was going through so much in my relationship where it was like he was cheating. It was just like so much stuff. And we talked each other through that. We cried together. We prayed together. We did all of that, and we just encouraged each other to get through it. And we were inseparable from that point on, where it was like we literally talked every day. She was working for a company. She was unhappy because she wasn't able to devote as much time to her children as she wanted to. So I was telling her about the job that I had just started at, which was another company that was under the umbrella of Head Start that I had started working for. I started working there, and then a couple of months later, she got on. I told her about it, and she got on as well. And we worked there for years together as well. So let's fast forward, and I'm just going to get into it because I already told you guys she was my best friend. She was my sister, actually. And I tell everybody that, like, she was my sister. We did everything together. We were never, like, really mad at each other. Our kids, we were so close. I forgot what the app was, but it was before. But we also started doing like the share your location, our kids and stuff, when Apple came out with that. But it was another app that they had where your kids could share locations with you, and we had our kids' location, we had our location. So I remember when both our kids just started being teenagers, it's like, girl, can you see where he at? Can you see where she at? Like, we would do that a lot. And my oldest daughter, they shared a relationship that was like, could nobody tell her nothing about her and him, basically. And could nobody talk about Shakira to him. Like, they had a great relationship, and their relationship was so good, she confided in her so much stuff. And then when I would go to Hannah and be like, you know what she just told me? She just said XYZ. And she's like, well, girl, I've been knowing that for about 6 months now. I'm like, you didn't say nothing to me. She was like, yeah, because my baby told me that it was between her and me. And I took care of the problem. And I'm like, okay, but that's just the type of relationship that they had. So, fast forwarding, we're working for this company, and we're happy, we're enjoying ourselves, everything's so on and so forth. Life is life, and you know how it can be when you're working somewhere. You can become stagnant and just not really that happy, with a company. And that was really the point that Hannah was at before her passing. She wasn't happy anymore at the company. She was ready to just venture out and do her own thing. She wanted to become a truck driver. She also had a business that was doing great, making popcorn, different flavors, like unique flavors of popcorn and different treats and stuff. So she was doing all of those things, like stuff like that. So she had just got to the point in her life where she was really just like, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to do things for myself, and I just want to find happiness within me doing stuff on my own. So she was ready to try to transition away from the job or whatnot, just because she just felt led to do that. She was becoming more spiritual as well, and she was moving faster than me on her spiritual journey than I was, and a lot of it was because she had a mate that was really spiritual, and he was helping her find her faith or whatnot. So So, what was I at? Yeah, she was ready to leave the company. And I remember one day she told me, she was like, girl, we was on break. I don't know if it was summer break. I think it was summer break because it was right before we caught COVID. And she just randomly texted me one day. And she was like, I don't think I'm going back. I'm like, back where? And she said, back to the job. I don't think I'm gonna go back when school starts. And I said, well, what's your plan? Because you got to remember, you have kids that you have to support. And she was like, I don't have a plan. And I was like, oh, okay. But that was just how she was. When Hannah was not happy, she definitely was a person that I'm just gonna go out on faith. And she did that a lot. And that was a characteristic that I then did not have. I have it now, but I definitely did not have it then. If I had it then, I would have left the job a long time ago. Probably when she was saying she wanted to leave, I would have been trying to get myself on out the door too, but I didn't do that. It took me a while. Okay, so I told her that, and she wasn't gonna come back, but I just kind of talked to her and stuff, and she ended up coming back until she found her something else. She was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So she came back. Now let's go back, y'all. So a few months before that, I remember sitting on my couch talking to her, and I don't know what we were talking about, and I don't know if it was somebody had lost. You know what? I do know. Somebody that we know had lost their best friend, and we would just talk. As a matter of fact, it was my cousin. She had lost her best friend. We were all around the same age, and me and Hannah was just talking about, like, what would we do if one of us passed away, and how it would change our life drastically. And, you know, somehow we had just got on the subject about that, and we were really sad. Like, neither one of us wanted the other person to go, of course. And this is another thing that I left out. Let me tell y'all this. So after we talked about that, I don't know how long it was, maybe a month or two, I had a dream that she had passed away. And I called her. It was a weekend, and I remember just calling her, crying hysterically, because the dream felt so, y'all, it just felt so real. Like, so when she answered the phone, I actually talked to her, and I still get chills when I think about it. When I actually talked to her, I felt so relieved in that moment that she was still alive, and I'm like crying, and she's like, calm down, it's okay, it's okay. And I remember her just saying, I'm here, like nothing is wrong with me, I'm fine. And I was like, it just felt so real. Are you sure? Are you feeling okay? I remember asking her all that. Like, are you keeping something from me? How is your health? Like, how are you doing? I remember asking her all of that, and she was like, I'm fine. Nothing is wrong with me. I'm good. I'm good. Like, nothing is wrong with me. So, they opened the world back up in August, or a little bit before August. I can't even remember when. And she decided, it was August definitely, because it was her youngest daughter's birthday, and that's why they took the trip. They decided to go to Galveston just to get out. She was tired. Hannah was someone who loved to take trips and loved to live life. Like, she wasn't a sit around person like me. Like, I'm more of a, okay, let's sit in the house, figure out what we can do, make memories here, maybe go out every once in a while. But that definitely was not Hannah. Hannah was someone who loved to go out. So when they opened up the world, she was ecstatic about it. Like, this was her being able to be her authentic self again, right? So she was really sorry, y'all. She was really happy about being able to get back out. So she made it her business to take her kids on a trip, because she loved taking her kids places and making memories with them. And so, of course, this was the perfect opportunity. So she found a deal for her to take the kids, and she definitely did that. So they went down there, had a great time. She enjoyed it. And I remember just telling her, like, Hannah, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're opening up the world to set us up. Like, this is not safe. I don't think you need to go. out yet. I'm like, just do something fun. She was like, no, it's Charlie's birthday. I want to take them to the beach. I want to celebrate her birthday like I normally do, do something fun. Either she would throw a party or she would do something really fun for the kids for their birthday or whatnot. I don't know how this lighting is. Turn it that way. Okay, so that's what she did. She took them there, and then she came back. And it was close to school, getting ready to start. But her kids started school later. But okay, I remember we went to work. This is the last day we worked together. We went to work, and I remember that day she was telling me about this place that made salads or whatnot. I'm like, well, no. I remember I really didn't have the money for it. I'm like, girl, I said, I can't afford that. I'm like, and I brought my lunch. I'm like, I'm okay. And she would hang out mostly in her classroom, but this day, for some reason, I don't know how she ended up in my classroom. And I was somebody, like I was the master teacher at the school that I worked at, so I would be doing stuff. I wouldn't just be in my classroom, so I would be going places, going to take the teachers stuff. I remember, I think that day or one day that week, I was helping teachers like set up their room. So I would always be moving all around, and Hannah literally would just stay in her room out of the way because she, like I said, she wasn't very happy anymore. She had a different vision for her life. So that day she sat down at my desk and she was online looking at this salad. She was like, I want you to try it. And she ended up treating me to lunch. We had the salads or whatnot. And then she was like, ooh, she was like, my throat kind of scratchy. And she was like, I don't know why every time I come in your room, I feel like this. And I'm like, girl, don't be saying it's my room. Ain't nothing wrong with my room. We kind of just laughed and played about it or whatever. And later we left, we went home, same old routine. And that day we got an email saying that the pipes, something was wrong with the pipes at work and we had to work virtually, or either they told us when we left. Before we left that day, I'm not sure, but it was before we left that we would be working virtually, and we was just doing trainings and stuff like that. And that night she asked me, she was like, hey, the kids are going to be getting their hair done, me and the kids. And I think it was all of them because her son had braids too. So I'm thinking, yeah, it was all of them. I remember. Okay, it was all of them getting their hair done, but the kids had their appointment before she had her appointment, right? So they had their appointment first. So what she did is she came to my house, and before she came, I remember she asked, she was like, y'all want something to eat or whatever? I'm going to McDonald's. And I told her, yeah, I wanted something to eat. And my youngest daughter was here. I don't know where my oldest was. She was probably at work. I'm not sure. But she got us some McDonald's, and her youngest daughter, I think it was just her and her youngest daughter came to the house. And she was like, we can just work on our trainings together at your house. And I'm like, yeah, girl. So she came and she had her iPad and I had mine. And I remember we were working on our first training. And y'all, she was working on her first training. And well, we were working on our first training. And she didn't eat that much of her food. And Hannah, if she bought something, she was gonna eat. Like, she was gonna enjoy her food. Like, she wasn't somebody who would just buy something and not really eat it. Which she would make fun of me. Sorry, y'all. I got a call. But she wasn't somebody who would just buy her food and not really eat it. She was someone who was going to eat her food if she bought it. I mean, and she would always make fun of me and say I waste my money all the time because I buy stuff and I wouldn't really eat it or eat a lot of it. And she would always make fun of me because of that. And I noticed that this day, when I say she did not eat anything. And I'm like, girl, so you just waste your money. And it was so bad where she was like, see if my oldest daughter, see if when she comes in she wants this. She was like, because I don't want to waste it, because she literally did not eat any of the food. So I was like, okay. And then I noticed when we were doing our trainings, I was sitting on, like, she was sitting where I'm sitting at now, and then I was sitting on the other side of the couch, and I was doing my training. Then I would look off and I would see that she was sleeping, and I'm like, Hannah, I was like, wake up. I was like, you know this is timed or whatever, you gotta wake up. And she was like, girl, she said, all of a sudden I just don't feel good. She said, I'm so tired. And she was like, and I'm cold. And she was like, and she's like, the bottom, she just started saying all of this stuff like this, like she walked in okay, but it's like within minutes she was just this whole different person. And she was like, I'm cold. So I remember I went and I got her a blanket, and yeah, I'm sorry. And my daughter, before I did this, she was like, Mama, only do it if you feel like you can do it. And I can do it, but it's just emotional when I tell the story. But I'm definitely going to tell it because I feel like I can help somebody. And that's what my page is about. It's about being transparent about life. And it's about being just being transparent about everything and not keeping anything hidden, and sharing my story so I can help somebody. This is a part of my testimony. This is a part of my life that I cannot take away. It's going to be there. So if I get emotional, it's okay. It's life, and everybody's had life, and everybody has lost people, and it's something that you have to come back from, right? So we moving forward. I'm gonna keep on talking. So she asked for the blanket, and I gave her the blanket, and then I'm like, okay. Now I'm just thinking of everything that happened, but I ain't gonna tell y'all every single detail of everything that happened, that day. But all of that is just playing back. I gave her the blanket. She was covering up, and she was trying to do the training, but she could not. And Hannah wasn't somebody who just falls asleep. She was very driven and, do stuff like knock it out. And she was like sleeping, like in, like I'm sleep, like nighttime sleep. So I'm like, okay, she's not feeling well. And that's when I asked, I was like, Hannah, do you think you have COVID? And she's like, no, I don't think it's COVID. And I said, okay. I said, but she's like, I think I'm just about to start my cycle. And I was like, well, these are not really cycle symptoms that you're having. And we just kind of left it like that. Okay, now we're going to move forward. But she was she didn't feel good. It was so extreme that I remember she asked her son to drive them home because she didn't feel well, and he was just getting his permit. And I'm like, okay, she never does that, so she's really, really sick. She got home that night. We're gonna move forward till she gets home. They go home. She gets home. I tell her to call me, which she already knew to do that because I'm that friend that freaks out. And she didn't call me, so I called her. She didn't answer. The next day I called. She didn't answer. I called her son, asked him how everything was going, and he was like, she's okay. She's just kind of been sleeping, saying she don't feel really good. And I was like, well, make sure she's drinking a lot of water, and y'all kind of just, hang low, like don't be around her. And he was like, well, she really don't want to drink. And I was like, have you took her temperature? Yeah, she said she don't. He was like, I don't know if she took it or not. And he go ask. She says, no, she don't have a temp or whatever. And I said, well, that's good. Maybe it's just like a little cold. So I guess he told her that I called, and she finally called me back, and she was just saying she wasn't feeling good. And at this point now, she's like, I don't know if it is COVID. I really feel horrible, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to get tested. Try to stay away from the kids. And I remember her saying her son was going off. She was taking him off to college. So she was like, I have to wash. I have to do all, like naming all of these things that she has to do. And I'm like, well, you need to get better. Maybe you need to call a college and see if they can give you an extension on when he needs to come down there. Just kind of let them know what's going on. And she didn't want to do that. When I tell you, this girl was all about her babies and setting them up for success and wanting them to have the best life that she could provide for them. She went over and beyond, and I admired her for that, her strength and her willpower to give her kids something that she felt that they deserved, and she wanted to set up a legacy for them. That was her whole reason for the business, was so they would have something to keep passing on to their family, right? So I forgot where I left off at, y'all. But Elijah just walked in the house, so I'm just gonna say hi to him, and then I'm gonna figure it out. Hey, how was your day? That's good.
Good news.
What's good news? I'm recording for YouTube. I don't know if you want to share with them too. But.
Oh yeah, that's good. I talked to my AP and I asked her about community service, and she said she gonna get with me tomorrow.
Okay, good. That's
so
good.
It'll be like after school hours.
Okay. So that's good, because it don't start getting dark until 7 after, 8 o'clock now?
Yeah. 8 o'clock, nah. Because that boy came at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, he did, because I remember you saying it's about to be 9 o'clock and it was still
he
time.
never came back. I guess he didn't want the help.
Probably because of how you did him.
Huh?
You weren't nice to the boy.
You think I should go? It's like a few.
I think you should. Is he younger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should. That'd be good for you to, mentor somebody younger, help them with something they don't know how to do. I think you should. You look like you're not really. Y'all should see his face. Let them see how you look. And as I tell you, now I'll put that same face on like I really don't want to do it. But I guess since you're saying.
Well, I thought about it. I thought about doing it the other day, but what happened? I'm be honest. I didn't even feel like it.
I know that's how you look right now. Like, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have asked if I should do this because I really don't want to do it. But I think it'll be good.
Today I felt like it. And I was like, I should go to the purposes. Because they get out before us.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Because he had the intermediate. Or he need that intermediate or black man.
Oh, so he's go do that. That'd be nice, because he's really young. I thought he was in junior high.
Oh, I don't know. Nah, he ain't intermediate, because he be hanging out with that one.
So him and Alicia in the same grade.
I think so.
Yeah. I think you should do that and just encourage him to do things right. You finna go see now?
Well, yeah, I don't want to take a shower then go back outside.
Okay. Well, I hope it goes good. Go see.
I guess I'll just wear this. Because it's like really hot.
It's up to you. I mean, it's the end of the school year. It ain't like you gotta protect your school clothes now anyway. Do you have your
this right here is still good.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Go if you want to change. If you don't, it's all up to you.
I'm gonna put a white tee on.
Okay. So I was at the part where, she was saying, I was like, you need to go get tested, this, that, and the other, and what was I gonna do? Let me just keep talking and do this. Let me wash my hands. And I was like, you need to go get tested, this, that, and the other, and she still hadn't went to go get tested, and me and they had went to the store. And I was fine. We had went to the store and I was fine, but then he had went to the store to do something, like a little convenience store. We went to the grocery store, I was fine. I felt okay. And then he went to the convenience store for something. I don't know if it was, I think it was to get a cash in a lottery ticket or get a lottery ticket, something like that. And he in the store, and I remember the air was on because it was hot, and I just got cold. And I'm like, why in the heck am I feeling so cold like this? I'm like, what is going on? Why am I so cold? So I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing because everybody know if you know me personally, you know I can be a little bit dramatic. So I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing because they gonna say I'm being dramatic or whatever, but I did not feel good. I just started, all of a sudden I got really, really cold, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? So I didn't say nothing to him, but I'm freezing in the car, and I want to say, baby, cut the air off because it's freezing. But I'm like, no, because I'm tripping. Like, and it might be in my head because I'm thinking she has COVID, and it's probably just all in my head because I've been around her or whatever. So I don't say anything. We get home and we're cooking together, which is what, like I said earlier, that's something that we did often. We would just cook together. I would cook something, he would cook something, and we would just make it happen. So I remember I was making the tea and the Kool-Aid, and I'm stirring it up, and now at this point I feel like crap. Like, literally, that's how it happened. I was fine, and then a couple hours later I'm getting chills, and then the next minute I just feel like, okay, God, it's something I ain't right. That's literally how I felt. So I look at him and I'm like, babe, I said, I gotta get out of here. I said, I gotta leave out of the kitchen. I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I said, but I feel horrible. I said, you know, Hannah came over here and she wasn't feeling good. And I remember telling the kids, like, do not come in my room. Just stay out of the room, this, that, and the other. I said, I know y'all want to be around me, but y'all cannot be around me right now. I said, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't want to get y'all sick. So I isolate myself. I'm in the room. He finished cooking. He does everything. He started fixing me, giving me medicine, tea, and all that. Now, when I tell y'all, I was fine, but it had got to the point where I could not do anything. This was on Sunday because we were cooking Sunday dinner. By Monday, I'm completely out of there. He's taking care of me. He's trying to get his stuff together for his catering business and take care of me. Tuesday, he does his thing. I'm sick. I can't do nothing now. My oldest daughter is taking care of Leisha, my youngest daughter, and Elijah, DeMarcus' mom, comes and gets him because we don't want him to get sick. But my baby girl didn't have nowhere to go, so she stayed at home, and my oldest daughter was taking care of her, like making sure she ate and all of that stuff. So that's how that went. Now, by this time, Tuesday comes, right? He goes and does his little gig. He comes back in. And I remember telling him, when we talked, I was like, I just want a sandwich. I just want a sandwich. I just want you to make me. No. I didn't tell. Yes, I did. I texted him and told him that. And my daughter was asking me, what did I want her to make me? And I'm like, nothing. I just wanted Marcus to make me a sandwich when he gets home. I just want a sandwich. I don't want anything else, right? One of his sandwiches. And she said, okay. So he gets through the door. He immediately falls to the floor. He's like, I barely made it home. I don't know what's going on with me. Now he's sick, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I can't, girl, y'all just don't know. I couldn't even do anything. Like, I couldn't get up and say, baby, you all right? Let me check on you. Like, he's on the floor, and I'm just like, I hope he's down there surviving, because there wasn't nothing I could do. So I fall asleep. It's the next day. He's still literally on the floor. He hasn't gotten up from that spot. So I'm like, okay, he has it too. You know, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go back, y'all, because Elijah hadn't left yet. He was still here when I got it. He left when we find out that, okay, whatever it is I got, now he got it, right? So DeMarcus finally gets, it's like, I don't know what time, but it's probably early in the morning or the middle, still early in the morning, like middle of the night morning. He finally gets up and he takes a shower, and no, he didn't take a shower. And I was like, baby, just try to take a shower, see if you feel better, this, that, and the other. And he does that, and he's like, I don't feel better, this, that, and the other. So like, you gotta go get tested. I'm telling Hannah, I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but we're sick over here now too. You really need to go get tested. I don't got now. I'm proactive, baby. I don't got online that fur when I was sitting in the chair on the couch in the room. I don't set me an appointment, because then it was like you set an appointment to go get tested, and it's like you have to wait like 3 days and all that. So I had set me an appointment, and my appointment was for Wednesday. I remember it was for was it Tuesday? It was for Tuesday, because no, I'm wrong. It was Monday. It was for Monday, the next day, because he was here getting ready, prepared and stuff like that when I went and took it, because he was going to take me. And I'm like, no, I can drive myself. Keep doing what you're doing. I remember that I drove myself. I talked to Hannah. She had just got tested that day as well. I was nervous about it, and I remember her talking me off the cliff, telling me it's going to be okay. You got this. Like, it ain't going to be that bad. And she was explaining to me the process. And I remember her saying that while they were traveling to drop her son off at college, they had stopped at Popeyes, and that's when, was it Popeyes? Popeyes had something that had just came out. I don't remember what it was. It was fairly new. I don't know if it was some nuggets or whatever it was. I've never had it, and it wasn't the chicken sandwich, but she was saying she was trying it and she couldn't eat it. She was like, I just couldn't eat it. I didn't have an appetite. I couldn't taste it. So I ended up throwing it away, wasting my money, because I didn't want to give it to my kids and they end up sick or whatever I have. So I remember her saying that. I got back home after I took the test or whatever. Got back home, of course, got into bed, because just driving, and I think my drive was like altogether 40 minutes, probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes there, 25 minutes back. I got in the bed, laid back down, did all of that stuff, and whatnot. So that happened before he came home. I had to go back and tell y'all that before he came home, I was sick and stuff like that. So he goes and get tested Tuesday, probably Wednesday or Thursday. My results come in that I do have it. His results come in that he has it. And then I remember her results came in after both of our results. Or either she just didn't check it, but she had it as well. And I remember with her, she had got to the point where she was literally like throwing up and all of that stuff. But I didn't get that bad. I was really exhausted. I do remember that, like, just being really, really, really exhausted. Like, it was crazy. Like, taking a shower took a toll on me. Taking a shower was like, okay, let me build up my strength to take the shower, and then after that we'll figure out what's going to happen next, because the shower is going to take everything out of you. And I would take a shower, and then I remember I couldn't dry off, so I would have to lay on the bed wet just to get back in control, because it would be like I had ran a marathon. And and it was the same thing with Bae. He was horrible too. We both was horrible together. And I remember us just like really encouraging each other and to get through it. And I will tell, I say this to everybody, I think had I not had him, my outcome would have been totally different, because I had him encouraging me. We encouraged each other. We kept each other going. We talked each other off of the ledge of giving up. We didn't come out of the room. We was ordering food. His mom and family did the whole water thing, buying us fruits and vegetables. My oldest daughter also, she kept us with like emergency, just everything that they were saying we needed to do to get better. They made sure that we had it. Between my daughter, his mom, and I think it was his sister and his nephew, they made sure that we had it. They got Elijah when they found out that he had it too. So that's how Elijah ended up leaving the home. And my oldest daughter, was just kind of taking care of Leisha and bringing, like, if someone brought something to the house for us, she would bring it to the door and let us know when we could open the door and get it. And then she would spray everything, like wash her hands and spray everything down, because she had, came close to our door or whatever. And that's basically what our routine was. And we just literally stayed in that room and kept each other together, and I made sure we rest. And I remember he's someone who's not gonna sleep. He's not gonna sleep. So with me, I would do like Tylenol PM at night, and then I would do regular Tylenol in the daytime, and then I would do our medicine. We was doing all of this stuff and making sure we drank a lot of water and all of this. But with him, I was intentional to make sure I gave him more Tylenol PM than regular Tylenol so he would rest. Because he was steady trying to make sure I was good, and I knew that I wasn't as bad off as I could be because of experiences that other people had and how Hannah was telling me that she was doing, right? So we would talk or whatever and all of that, but not a lot. I think me and her probably talked through this process probably maybe 3 times. I don't know. It wasn't a lot because we were both just down, and we would talk every day, all day. Like that's what we would do, but it was so bad where we could not do that. So she ended up getting hospitalized because she could not breathe. Her breathing had gotten so bad or whatnot. And I was still home, and we would kind of just text and, hey, how are you doing? This, that, and the other. And she was saying that she thought she had got it from work. And I was like, no, I don't think you got it from work. I think you got it when you went to Galveston. And the reason that I was telling her that was because we were the only 2 people at our job that had got it. No one else had got it. And I was like all out of the room. I was the one that was, around everyone. So I just felt like if we would have got it from work, somebody else at work would have had it, and then I would have brought it to her. But once I like played it back in my head, like she was sick before me, I was doing fine. She got sick. Nobody else at the job had it. Literally, no one else had it. It was just her and I. So that's why I say maybe she got it when she went to Galveston. She gave it to me. I didn't give it to DeMarcus. And we were blessed that it stopped at our house. Nobody else had it. Nobody else got it in our house either. We thought maybe my oldest daughter probably had it, and we're not sure if she just got a small case of it where it didn't really affect her bad, because she ended up having to quarantine in her room when I started to feel a little bit better. So Leisha ended up basically, it had got to the point where, okay, I'm feeling better now. I'm not 100%, but I have to feed my baby. I ain't got nowhere for her to go. So it just ended up where I was fixing her. What I would do is I would put on gloves, clean my hands and stuff really good, put on gloves, just make her some quick food, like really, really quick stuff. I had a tray sitting at her door. I would sit everything at her door, all of her food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like stuff that didn't have to be warmed up, like really quick stuff. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, gave her drinks, all of that stuff, snacks at her door. I would put everything in Ziploc bags, right, and just spray it down just in case I accidentally touched some and didn't know it. I would spray it down, wait about 30 minutes, and then I would tell her, okay, grab all of your stuff. And that's what I did with her once Kay got sick, my oldest daughter. So that's kind of how I did it. So Leisha was still eating and she wasn't being neglected because we were sick. And then we just gradually, me and DeMarcus started feeling better. And I remember Elijah had to go to school, so I was trying to enroll him. They had brought him back. We've went and tested again. Neither one of us have COVID. We've healed. And Hannah, she's still at the hospital, but she is she's doing better, and she's told me that she's gonna go home in a couple of days. So I'm excited about that. And take Elijah to the school. I take him to the school because now I'm better. Bay is back at work. Everything is good, but I still have to be off of work because of how they had the COVID protocol and how it went. He works for himself, so he was able to, I'm feeling better. Okay, let me go back and do what I got to do. But I was still at home. So I remember I took Elijah to the school, and I'm at the school getting him into the school or whatever. It's his first day back. Leisha had started a couple of days before him because she was in elementary. He was going to junior high. and got him enrolled. I come out of the school and my phone rings, and it's her cousin. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to tell her, cause she did it ring or did she text me? No, she texted me and she said, call me ASAP. And I'm like, I looked at it and I'm like, I'm gonna have to tell her, don't be putting ASAP, because ASAP makes me nervous, and I don't be want to hear I don't want no bad news or whatever. So when I picked up the phone, she was like, Camila, and she just told me that Hannah had passed. And I remember just driving. I didn't turn on the street I was supposed to turn on. I knew my community, but I was so lost trying to get back home. And I'm like, no, don't tell me that. Of course, I'm not taking it well. And I pulled back up to the house, and I come in the door. I just remember walking through the door and falling to the floor and calling my daughter because she was here, and not being able to tell her what's wrong. And I have asthma, so I remember her grabbing my inhaler and saying, Mama, whatever it is, you have to calm down. You're still trying to get over COVID. You have to stop. Calm down. Here's your inhaler. Take your inhaler. And then finally I was able to tell her what was going on. And like I said, that was my hardest loss, was losing her, and losing her the way that I lost her. Because it was unexpected, and I was expecting to, have so many years with her, and, just have our grandkids and do all of those fun things that you just think you're going to be able to do with a best friend / sister. And now I'm just grateful that I was able to have a relationship with her like I did. I'm happy that we crossed each other's paths. And I know she's my angel, and she's the person that found my house. She's the person who just, it's so many things that I could share with you guys, but she's a very, very special person. She was, and I know whomever she's sharing her time with now, they just feel so blessed and overjoyed with happiness, because that was her. Everyone who she knew was touched by her energy, and she almost didn't have to say anything to you. It was just her, period, who she was. Was like, oh wow, this person is magnificent. This person is, she was an angel down here before she even got her wings, and that was just her. So I wanted to share that story with y'all, and just let you guys know, don't take the people that you have in your life for granted. Appreciate them when they're here, and then when they're gone, celebrate them. Don't drown in sorrow because they're gone. Drown in the happiness of the experiences that you had with them, because that's what's most important. And I tell people now, I'm like, shoot, I'm happy now that she's not here, because look at where we're at. Look at how the world is, and it's just like, she doesn't have to experience this anymore. Like, she's at peace, and and that's just how I feel about it now. Like, with everyone that I lost, I also lost my uncle after her, and I lost an aunt after her. And it's just like, with me becoming more spiritual, it's just like, why are we always so sad when these people leave us? Like, why? We should rejoice that they're no longer here suffering. And and that's just how I feel, because she shared with me before, like, the people that she no longer had with her when COVID hit, she was like, I'm so glad. She named the people, like, I'm so glad that they're not here in these times, because this is so sad and heartbreaking. And now, you know what I say? She's not sad. She's not heartbroken. She's at peace. She's not worried about bills. She's not worried about who's not helping her support. She's not worried about what she needs to do and leaving a job. She's at peace, and she did what she was meant to do in the world. She impacted so many people's lives, and she left 3 amazing children that someday is going to do big and amazing things. And I just pray for them, and I pray for everyone who is suffering due to losing someone that meant a lot to them. And I just pray that God touch your hearts and your spirit, and just lay his hands on you and put you at ease, as I am with my loss, because I am at ease now. It's a lot. I'm a lot better than what I was. And you guys just know you can make it through it. You can make it through any dark times that you have when you put God first. And I'm going to end this video the way I end every video. If you let God lead you, he will not steer you wrong. It's when you lead yourself, you steer yourself wrong. And Mom Squad, because that's y'all name, it's my Mom Squad. I'm going to end it right here. I did finish cooking everything, even though, because I told y'all I wasn't a cook with me. It was a story time as I cooked. So we did finish all of that. And I will see you guys on tomorrow if I post. I'm finna hand this over to Alicia so she can do her part, which is editing. I don't know what's wrong with me in my speech today. I can't even say it. I did that 3 times in my my training today. I don't know what's wrong with me in words, but that's okay. Y'all know what I mean. Like I told y'all, this is raw and uncut over here. But Alicia's gonna do the video, fix the video, do what she needs to do her part, and then we will post it. I love you guys, and you guys have a wonderful evening. It is April the 30th, and right now it is 5:25 in Texas. So that's what I'm saying. Have a great evening. I hope all is well, and I pray that you guys stay close to God. And if you're not close to God, try to get close to him if you believe. If you don't, whatever your beliefs is, just stay true to who you are. Love you guys. Have a great evening.